All right, hey, Shalom Israel.
Shalom.
Want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Salaki, I don't know if you can see us, kind of dark in here. Just trying to show our face, but it is what it is. Yeah, Salaki. I'm the brother Kahan. I'm here with the brother.
Ashiarba, Shalom.
And we the brothers from Salaki. I slipped up on my intro. We want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is his son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And there's no God beside them. Double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. Double honor to them for being faithful witnesses to the Holy Spirit. And shalom to the elect, whom the Lord have given ears to hear. You know, like I mentioned, I'm the brother Kahan, and I got the brother Ashiarba with me. And we just going into Ezekiel 39. You know, the brother's putting me on game. And hey, it's a beautiful chapter. And hey, Yahweh Shai, he said the year. Grab that one real quick. You know what I said? The year of vengeance burneth in his heart.
Isaiah 60.
Because this is what we getting into, man. You got it? Oh, if you know what side, I'll grab it.
Isaiah 60.
60,
I got it. I was like 63. Isaiah chapter 63 and verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come.
Right. So, and there's another one where the Lord said he has long time holding his peace. 42, 13 or something like that around there, I think so. Right. Isaiah 42 and 13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once. So this is what we're about to get into through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, where the Lord is getting real descriptive on how he's going to fuck you devils up.
Yep. I got a priest. This is Ezekiel, Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace.
Right. And the Lord is very compassionate, but he's also very merciful. But on the flip side, as he is a power of balance, he's also very vengeful.
Yep.
Right? And he was merciful on you devils, you know, by giving you the kingdom, and look what you did to it.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's going to show you his other side, because that's what people respect in this life, especially these fucking devils.
Yep. Quick, Joel 3 and 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, which are the heathen nations, the actual heathens. Prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening as we speak. But nevertheless, Ezekiel 39, starting at verse 1. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Right? And Gog is the Russians, and Meshech and Tubal, that's two areas of modern day Turkey. Right? Verse 2, and I will turn thee back, and leave but the sixth part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north parts, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, because you know, brother, as we was getting into it, you know, Russia is north of Israel, right? And pretty much the sixth part of thee is the sixth part. So you think about, you have your army is broken up into 6 parts. 5 parts is going to go down to Israel, and the 6th part is going to stay in Russia.
The small remainder, you know. It says, and cause thee to come up from the north parts, will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel. It says,
so just to, you know, again confirm the north parts, which means they pretty much gonna come down from Russia, which is north of Israel, to fight against Israel. And like the brother was going into, when you look at what's going on in the war today, that's fitting, right? Because, you know, as America has NATO and the EU, Russia has its own particular, allies that he's building up called the BRICS. You know, actually Iran just joined BRICS, and that's prophecy. Because in Ezekiel 38 it says that Gog shall be a guard unto the Persians, which is modern day Iranians, right? And everybody knows America is fucking with Iran through Israel, so it's only a matter of time before the Lord stands up for for Iran, and goes against Israel.
Right. And I believe Iran, Persia got changed to Iran by I believe the Shah of Iran. I think his name was ended like Pahlavi or something like that. But yeah, Iran is modern day Persia. Ezekiel 9:39-3, and I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand. And the Lord gonna take control of the nuclear missiles, right? Verse 4, thou shalt.
Hey, real quick, this is Jeremiah 50:25. The Lord hath opened his armory, and I brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Right? So the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, this is a part of his armory. The Lord has an armory too. Now, just as in the ancient world, where you notice that the Lord uses ancient world talk. So in the scriptures, you have something known as arrows. Arrows today will be known as nuclear missiles.
Right.
So him opening up his armory, right, which is him opening up, allowing those nuclear missiles to be shot off.
Yep. Verse 4, thou shalt fall upon the mountains of Israel. See, that's the thing. You know, the Lord is saying Russia, all right, and its allies, because just read the beginning verses of Ezekiel 38. They're going to come. The Lord really, you're going to, bring the nations down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and around that area. That's where the focus of World War III is going to be at, around that valley of Jehoshaphat, which is within the land of Israel. And as we know, Jehoshaphat in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shaphat, all right, because it means Yahweh's judgment, And then it said the valley of Yahweh's judgment,
Yep. You have Israel is going to be a part of it. That whole region of the Arabian Peninsula. Because remember, according to Revelation 16:13, it speaks on how the Lord is preparing the kings to go down into the east. That's why he's drying up the river Euphrates. All right. So, like the brother mentioned, that whole portion of the world is going to be filled with armies very soon.
Yeah. Now,
it's not to say it's going to happen next week or next month, because the MOTV has to be pushed and forced upon the people, but it's going to happen.
Yep, it's going to be world armies. Joel 3:14, multitudes, which are the world armies, in the valley of decision. Jehoshaphat, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. It's near. Iran just got into the BRICS alliance, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and Saudi Arabia.
South Africa.
The water.
But Saudi Arabia, they did just join suit. And that's a big thing, because they were once American allies, but once that deal pretty much ended, they decided not to sell their oil to America using the American dollar. Right?
It says, Ezekiel 39:4, continuing where I left off, thou and all thy bands and the people that is with thee, I will give thee unto the ravenous birds of every sort, and to the beasts of the field to be devoured. That it says, thou shalt fall upon the open field, for I have spoken it, says the Lord Yahweh. So the Lord, He's gonna give the armies down there to He's pretty much gonna give them to the birds of the air, man. And that's definitely ancient world talk. Because King David said to Goliath, remember? He said, I'm gonna give your body to the fowls of the heaven.
Damn.
The air.
He gonna leave you leaking.
Yeah. You know, and it talks about that. This is once again why it's, you know, called the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. Because, hey, Russia and its allies are going to be destroyed in that region. And this cuts people thinking Russia is going to come up next. Because how? If majority of Russia's army is going to come and be destroyed here in this next world war, how are these nations going to rise? You know, a remainder of an army is not enough to protect the homeland. You know, that's not good enough. You need a whole army, not just a portion of it, man. You know,
right? Hey, the Lord is setting up right now what is known as an ambush. All right, and he's going to, like the scripture said in Revelation 19, shall have many crowns upon his head.
Yep.
Right. So because he's pretty much putting all these nations into a trap.
Yep. Continue.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 39:6, and I will send a fire on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. See? Let me get it. You want to get the precept for that? You want me to get it?
Yeah, I got you. This is Revelation chapter 20.
This is that judgment that's coming.
Verse 8. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog,
Russia,
to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Because it's a big army. Right?
Multitudes. Remember, the brother had read Joel 3, multitudes in the valley of decision. And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about
the land of Israel,
and the beloved city,
Jerusalem.
And fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them.
Nuclear missiles, as well as, you know, I believe you could say the chariots from Yahweh Shai, in 2nd Ezra 13. Because being when this World War III kicks off, they're gonna have a very special guest that's gonna return in the midst. Guess what? Let me just say it like this: he coming from outside of the firmament, man. He coming from the waters, above the firmament, outer space. As it tells you, you're gonna, and like a brother was saying, like having that aerial position, that's dominance. You know, let's say he looked down on the armies, you know, that came to fight against. He looked, you know, pretty much he looked down on them. You know, that's dominance, man. So when the Lord about to take over, you know.
Hey man, and you have a lot of these airport fighters and fighter pilots. They coming out, and there's no coincidence that they're coming out about the might of those chariots.
Yep.
Them fighter pilots, they're very fast, but they not no match to the chariots. And that's just the angels. Imagine heavenly imagine Yahweh Shai and that, you know, that mountain that Ezra spoke of. You're gonna shit their pants, man.
Yeah, man. You know, and the thing is, this is synonymous with when Yahweh Shai returns. That same day, America's getting destroyed. You see? Because what's Yahweh Shai gonna do? Because he's also gonna gather his elect. But see, the fact that everybody, you know, when Yahweh Shai returns, they're gonna you know, they're all gonna see him when he returns, man. It's gonna cause some type of, it has to cause some type of stoppage to actually look up and behold him. It tells you how every eye shall see him, you know. It tells you every eye. So all this whole world war, Yahweh Shai gonna come back. It's gonna stop. Well, let me not say stop, but people gonna, you know, it's gonna cause awe in the midst of a world at war. The planet Earth gonna be at war, but Yahweh Shai gonna come back and take this whole over. You know, it's gonna be righteous.
2nd Ezra 13, verse 6, verse 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heavens to subdue the men that came out of the sea. Right? So the multitude of number from the four winds of the heavens, right? Because earth is considered another heavens. Right? So from the four winds of the heavens is another word synonymous from pretty much going into all the nations from various parts of the world. To subdue the man that came out of the sea, because Yahweh Shai didn't physically come out of the sea, but he came out of the sky. right? Which when you go into the scriptures, the firmament is called the Shemayim, or the waters.
Yep.
So the sea is pretty much indicative of the sky, Yahweh coming out of the sky. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword for any instrument of war. But only I saw he sent out of his mouth as there had been a blast of fire. Because remember Isaiah 66:15.
Right.
Out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, out of them chariots brought forth fire as well, as your brother mentioned before.
And guess what? In this next one, where you gonna have the 10 horns in there? The European Union. This is Revelation 17. This is the precept of what the brother read. 17 and 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So they gonna try to fight Yahushua. This is where that war in heaven is gonna take place. When this happens, Michael and the archangels, fighting against Esau. This is when it's gonna happen, man. All right. But just reading back, Ezekiel 39 and 6. And I will send a fire on Magog, and among them that dwell carelessly in the isles, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So we understand that now. Verse 7. So will I make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them pollute my holy name anymore, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, the Holy One in Israel. So the Lord, let me just say, the Lord's respect for his name is coming back. Verse 8. Behold, it is come, and it is done, said the Lord Yahweh. This is the day whereof I have spoken. This is that great day that's coming. See, the thing is, we talk about Yahushua coming back in the midst of that, which he is. Yahushua did say no man knows the day or the hour, because we don't know the specific time, second, and day that this is all going to happen, that he's going to return. But we know the prophecies, knowing that when this thing goes down, he's going to be there in the midst of it. Verse 9. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows and the handstaves and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years. You want to break that one down?
This is it's like here, verse 9. Yep. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and they shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers. So as we previously just read, and what's that verse 4, that those that were down here were destroyed. Mm-hmm. Right? So if those that were at war and they were destroyed, who would they be in verse 9 where it says, and they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth? This is meaning that the elect is going to come down from the chariots, right? And he's going to burn the power, burn those weapons with spiritual powers, right? We're going to, like the brother had mentioned before, you want to go into it out about you were saying how remember, if Esau should live by the sword and there's going to be no more sword, that means Esau's power is going to be destroyed.
Yeah, because Esau's blessing is the sword. That's what Isaac gave Esau, back during the time of Jacob and Esau. Genesis 27 and 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live. That's you see it. Esau has tanks, nuclear weapons, guns on planes, drones. Don't
forgot lasers on planes now.
Exactly. And this just goes, and all that just goes to show you, like, the type of power we gonna have in that day. We're gonna take down this man's weapons and stuff. What type of power are we gonna have? You see? Because a sword isn't our blessing. But this goes to show you, right? If we take Esau down, it's like if we burn up all the weapons, his blessing is gone. Because he got control of the world by
That's
what?
a good point.
His weapons. You know, by the sword. But if he doesn't have a sword, he loses his grip on the world. Number one, Yahweh Shai gonna be back, and we're gonna be changed already. But number two, how you gonna, you know, how would you even do anything? And how that cousin Nick, because then he said Esau gonna rise back in power. How? You know?
With what?
You know, we already gonna be changed, living immortal. Okay. So that just goes to show that once again, after this World War III, after this happens, we gonna have the upper hand. Israel's really gonna be in power, man. Once this goes down, we really gonna be in power. When we come out them chariots, man, it's game over.
Hey, you gotta think about it. That's how you know this is Esau in power. Here it is, you going on what? 100 years? A little bit more than 100 years, and you already going to 3 world wars under this devil?
Right.
3 world wars. That's like at least, what? I'd say 100, more than 200 million people that's been destroyed under this devil. And that's just during the world wars.
Right.
You know? So yeah, this man is definitely, this is him. And here it is, the most powerful weapon known to mankind is about to be unleashed, of nuclear missiles made under this devil's rulership.
Yup. Real quick, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And this is also goes to show you that the whole world ain't going to be destroyed. Because it just said we're going to come out the chariots and, you know, burn the weapons around the world. So what world is this talking about? A period of time or age. Because we still going to be on the earth. The earth abide us forever. You see? Quick precept. 2nd Ezra 7 and 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, which is World War III, which is also, you know, synonymous with America's destruction. It's going to be the end. That's going to mark the end of Esau's reign and the beginning of the immortality for to come. So the earth will no longer be given into the hand of the wicked. It's going to be given into the hand of the righteous. And when it is, the people are going to rejoice. You know? Yeah, that's the point on that.
Yup. Just reading down, actually, verse 44, and temperance is at an end. Infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. And keep that in mind, brothers, because did we read the part about where Yahushua, the Lord says that a couple of times, wherein he's going to get a great name when it's all said and done. It's about, remember, it's about the name of the Lord.
Oh yep, that's in verse 7, but he repeats it, you know.
It says, then shall no man be able, so that, you know, on that point I wanted to make on verse 44, how infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown.
Yep.
Right? Because there's doubt about the Lord, if he's real, this, that, and the third. But the Lord is about to put those doubts to rest. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that have gotten a victory. Because again, how you going to oppress? Because understand that this devil is our oppressor. Right? This devil, Esau Edom, is our oppressor.
Right.
Remember, the scriptures say from the very beginning they were fighting in the womb, Esau, Edom, and Jacob.
Yep.
Right? But he's not gonna be able to oppress us anymore. He's not gonna be able to take us down. All right. Try to you know, create some type of food to poison. None of that is gonna happen ever again.
Right. And you know, this is now we're coming into now what's actually gonna play out is what our forefather Jacob did to Esau, which is grab his heel. And see, now that what that meant is actually playing out now. You know, that's now it's actually going to play out. Another thing, as I was thinking, because we're talking about Yahweh Shai coming back, and I was mentioning the 10 horns. What does that also show? That shows that stone that was graven, cut out without hands, coming down and knocking down that image at the feet. You know, Daniel 2. You see, so the Lord is really, man, you know.
I got you right here. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 in the GNT. Let me start at verse 8. He answered, the interval will be no longer than that between Abraham and Abraham. He was I'm guessing, I don't know what they meant there. He was the grandfather of Jacob and Esau. And when they were born, Jacob was holding Esau's heel. Esau represents the end of this age, and Jacob represents the beginning of the new age. So if Jacob's hand is the beginning and Esau's hill is the end. Do not try to find a space in between.
Yeah. You know? Because this devil, he's going to an end real fast, man. This MOTB is hell he's about to bring. It's about to, you know what I mean? This is his last, this is the end of his reign of terror. And by the way, I think they got camps out there in Israel now, like biometric concentration camps. You know? So, shit's about to really get real. But, yeah. You know? I'm gonna keep reading. Ezekiel 39 and 9, the last part says, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years, which is a complete amount of time. Verse 10, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest. So it says, for they shall burn the weapons with fire. Because we're going to burn it with spiritual power, you ain't going to be able to chop. You don't need to chop down a tree to make the fire, or take any wood out of the forest to make a fire to burn these weapons. We're going to be, cutting trees. We're going to be using spiritual powers. You see? And let's go to show that we're going to be changed. How you going to beat us if we're going to be changed, man? We can't die no more. Guys, we will literally be able to destroy a nuclear bomb without destroying anything, if we want. You'd be able to contain the blast. See, with spiritual powers, you could. This is another level that's about to be ruling over the world, man. Verse 10. Continuing on, says, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith the Lord Yahweh. Saith the Lord. So slavery is coming.
Got you right here. This is James 5. That's a good one, but you know that one in Amos, it speaks about how the plowman should overtake the reaper.
In Amos 9.
Forget what I said.
This Amos 9, like the last part towards the end.
Please, but that's the.
I got it. Amos 9 and 13. Behold, the days come,
right there,
saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt.
Yep. So again, going to what the brother had read about, you're gonna spoil those that spoiled us.
Yep.
Esau's doing great on us, on our backs.
Yeah.
Hey, we was just in a restaurant, me and the brothers, and one of the brothers, the beloved brother Shapal, he was saying how it's crazy how this devil was still making money off of dead Israelite artists, man. They playing Michael Jackson in a restaurant. But that's just a small example of how this devil is still getting rich. You have certain institutions, multi-million-dollar institutions that was built upon slavery.
Right.
Built upon, and those institutions made even more money off of the inventions Jake created just to make it easier for them in slavery.
Yeah.
So, hey, man, you devils got, man.
And that's going to happen. You see, this is why we need World War III to happen. That's why we need all of this stuff to happen. As it says in Habakkuk 2 and 3 for the point of time. But Ezekiel 39 and 11, and it shall come to pass that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea. And it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there they shall bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Ham and Gog. And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord Yahweh. So the Lord going to have a place, a graveyard set up for Gog in the land of Israel. And they're going to be burying. We're going to have our slaves buried. Because this time we're going to have slaves, man. You think Yahweh Shai going to come back and redeem us, and we're going to be working ourselves? Making holes in the ground with shovels and things? No, man. We're gonna have slaves. We're gonna be the next superpower, man. We're gonna be the next reigning power over the earth forevermore. Because we Israelites,
Oh yeah, and me and the brother was talking, we're gonna have power to do things. We're gonna have power to make life easier, but we not gonna. It's not gonna be to help these devils. You know.
Right. They got power right now. They could, like the brother Ward was saying, they have power. They can make it, you know, a good captivity. You know, good as in like easy. You know? But look at what they do. You still tax all the time. You still got to go into work. You know, you still got to pay. Even if you don't got a job, say you get fired, you still got bills to pay. They want their money. They don't give a fuck if you don't have a job. You know. So what do you think we gonna do? Now, see, it ain't like they be saying. It's all fun and games till the rabbit got the gun, pretty much. You know.
Yeah, you think about it, man. You paying a rent once a month. So if you get paid, for most Jake get paid every other week. That means every paycheck you make, every dollar you see goes right to rent.
Yep.
And not only rent, but phone bill, electric bill, gas bill. Hell, you got to pay for your own water in this captivity.
Right.
You know? So this place where we found no rest.
This man took away, because in the ancient world, you knew how to make a fire if you needed to. You knew how to build all that if you needed to. Now he made you dependent on him.
Right.
So now when you need to do those things, you don't know how to do it.
Now you get in trouble for collecting rainwater.
It's crazy. We're gonna be some real. We're gonna be on your man. We're gonna be on you in the kingdom. All right. And this is 7 months, meaning the complete amount of time. The valley of Ham and Gog, meaning the multitude of God, because they're gonna die after all that war. Verse 14. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. Did we read it?
Oh no, I got you. So it's pretty much, you know, as our brother went into, after they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain. Right. So pretty much our heathens, our slaves, all right, is going to bury the remains that remain after World War III, nuclear destruction, nuclear fallout, and all that. Whatever remains left, all right, we don't want to see that. All right, they're going to have to bury that. Hands and knees, whatever. Brother, give them a shovel, or they just going to hell. I'm gonna make them use their fucking hands, man.
Yeah.
And it says, after the end of the 7 months shall they search. Right? So you got an initial 7 months, but then once that's done, we're gonna send them out again just to make sure. Hell, we might make them triple check if we feel like it.
Proofread, nigga.
Yep. To make sure everything's cleaned up. Then it's time to dig for gold and you know, dig for because you know the scriptures say how our kingdom is going to be built of the streets of gold, and our palaces is going to be made of you know, various gemstones. So they're gonna have to dig for that.
You know, and the thing is, it's gonna be a whole lot of bodies out there. There's gonna be a lot to clean up. You got to bury it. You know, ain't gonna be to where, you know, ain't gonna be no you know, you got like now, you know, you take them to the Undertaker at the building and everything, and
Like bomb the food.
Yeah, nah, man, no, your ass you gonna put him in the grave. You gonna put him in the dirt, all right? You know, crazy. But you gonna put him in the dirt, man. You know.
Imagine the stench, bro. God damn.
Yeah, and on top of that, you gonna have to build the kingdom. So these heathens, they gonna get tired, but they don't give a fuck. The kingdom gonna get built. You know. Shit, we ain't gonna know what tired is. So we be whooping your ass day and night, 24 hours a day, whooping your ass unless it's a Sabbath. You know, telling you to keep going because we ain't gonna get tired no more. Verse 15: And the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bones, a bone, then shall he set up a sign by it, till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Ham and Gog, and also the name of the city shall be Hamunah. Thus shall they cleanse the land. You see. So they're gonna set up a sign when they proofread, you know, and then, you know, proofreaders and go over looking for any dead bodies and bones and things, so that they let it know that the body needs to be buried in Ham and Gog, right? So
Now where Ham and Gog means multitudes.
Well, cool how you name these different places. You know, multitude of God. God dead ass gonna be right over there. Verse 17. And thou, son of man, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, speak unto every feathered fowl and every beast of the field. Assemble yourselves and come. Gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice that I do sacrifice for you. Even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that ye may eat flesh and drink blood. Ye shall eat the flesh of the mighty and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats, of bullocks, all of them fatlings of Bashan. And ye shall eat fat till ye be full, and drink blood till ye be drunken of my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you.
So the Lord is going to share his fury, all right, and the Lord is going to share his sacrifice with the birds. That's essentially what the Lord is saying. You know, Esau is not only fucking with us, but he's fucking with the birds of the air, with his chemtrails, constant chemtrails. The nicest day here, best believe you're going to see some, out of nowhere, it could be a clear sky, and out of nowhere, you see a bunch of fucking fuzz in the sky. You know, that's all those chemicals that this devil is putting in the air.
Yep.
Right? So the Lord is going to allow those birds to get their, they pound of flesh, as they say.
Yeah. You know, just imagine how that's going to look. All them animals over there plucking up the dead bodies and stuff.
Seagulls and whatnot.
So imagine how that's going to look, man. You used to look on National Geographic and see a bunch of birds and stuff swarming somewhere. You think 5-10 birds in a Walmart parking lot is a lot. Just imagine on that day, man. You know, all different types of fowls and beasts eating top generals and stuff. You know, it's gonna be something. It says, verse 20: Thus ye shall be filled at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men and with all the men of war, saith the Lord Yahweh. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathens shall see my judgment that I have executed, my hand that I have laid upon them. And this, once again, is all those verses about eating the dead bodies. That's a precept of verse 4. So the Lord expounded here through his prophet Ezekiel. Verse 22.
Remember, the take God, the salvation of this place is as the Lord saved us from Egypt. And just like Egypt was a great salvation in that day, when you read Joshua 2:10, it speaks on how the Lord built his name off of that deliverance. That's going to happen again. You know, because for so long, you know, you got this so-called great captivity.
Right.
That, you know, they think they're untouched. And here it is, the prophets out there telling you let his people go through the spirit. But you choose not to. So the Lord's going to continue to send these plagues. Then he's going to harden your heart to where, you know, you won't allow us to go. That's why you got the MOTB. He's going to try to push on the people. But the point I'm making is that the Lord is doing that to fulfill his namesake, to fulfill the glory of his name once again.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, man, look, man, all this hell we catching, man, it's going to be over with real soon. Who knows if this going to play out in 2025 fully. Because Iran and Russia are already linking up, you know. America has a lot of ops. I'll say it like that. You know, a whole lot. Verse 22. So the house of Israel, and this is a heavy scripture right here. So the house of Israel shall know that I am Yahweh, their God, from that day and forward. So number one, it shows that the Lord is only dealing with the Israelites. Number two, this also shows that Christianity is false. Because here it is, this is talking about prophecy that has yet to happen. And the Lord said, from that day and forward, from that day on, Israel's going to understand. They're going to know that I'm their God. So, I'm only theirs. Nobody else's. So this goes to show, and who's the only ones saying that? Us. You know, us, the Israelites. We the ones saying that. So this goes to show Christianity is false, and we got the truth, man. You know, I'm Yahweh, their God, from that day and forward. This is a prophetic chapter we're reading about. You know,
precept. It says,
it's like I just add, literally has nothing in here has actually happened yet. This is prophetic. You know, this is prophetic.
Yep. Daniel 7:17, these great beasts which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Like the brother said, from that day and forward.
Yep.
Right? So it's a continuation. It's a, what's the word? Perpetuity, I believe that's the word.
Perpetuity.
Yep. Perpetual time. Forever and ever and ever. Even forever and ever.
Yep.
So that's a continuance of time.
I mean, it's gonna be clear that we're gonna have Yahweh Shai amongst us. And he's gonna look like one of us. He gonna look like it's not gonna be it's not gonna be a multitude of so-called black Hispanics and Americans with a white man leading charge. Nah, man. Our Lord looks like us. Okay? He's gonna be leading the charge. We're gonna enslave the nations. How is he the God of everyone else? We're gonna enslave the nations. He said we're gonna rob those that robbed them, spoil those that spoiled them. See?
I wonder how vocab worked that one down.
Yeah, he's gonna choke. His fat ass gonna choke on that. You know? Verse 23 though, and the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. So the heathen's gonna know why we went down, why we went into slavery, why we under this devil. They're gonna realize it ain't because we weak, ain't because we the weakest people. When these devils tried to conquer us, we fought back. We didn't win, but we fought back. Why? Because the Lord purposed it. Okay,
that's a fact. What about, if you call us weak, what about the Haitian rebellion?
Right.
You know, I mean, ultimately it was the Lord's plan to put us down for a period, because we went off.
Yeah, I remember too when we was doing that lesson on Issachar. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I remember after reading and everything, I looked a little more. Oh no, that was on a different lesson, Slocky. But I was reading about Issachar, and it said that temple, like one of they mine temples, I believe in the mainland, the biggest one. The Spaniards went in there and they start literally start cutting up cutting up the mines in there. I mean the Aztecs in there. They cutting up the Aztecs. This is like feet and stuff, blood all over the floor, limbs all around the temple and all of that. But nevertheless, I mean, we still try to fight back, but that was a real bloody scene, So it ain't cause we weak, it's because this is the Lord purposed it, So, but these heathens, they gonna know we went into captivity because of our iniquity against the Lord.
Yeah, remember the scriptures say it's a time to embrace and it's a time to refrain from embracing. So right now we're just in a time, where the Lord is, calling back the elect, but essentially the Lord did have a time to where he refrained from embracing us. That's why the scriptures say in Revelations 11, how they send gifts one to another. The Lord allowed that. The Lord said in Deuteronomy 28, it was like 52 around that area, pretty much in the curses, how our enemy would get up above us very high and we would get very low.
Right.
So the Lord ordained that. But again, as the Lord is a God of mercy, the Lord is a God of balance, and we're reading how the Lord is going to flip the script.
Right. So people ask, where was God in slavery? He was right there watching. He was right there watching. Yeah, he let us rise up sometimes, but he wasn't. We weren't supposed to wake up yet.
Yeah, he said, "What I was a little displeased, but thou hast forwarded the affliction." Right. And essentially, there had to be a reason for the Lord to turn the tables on you.
Yep. It says, verse 24, according to their uncleanness, see, and according to their transgressions have I done unto them. That's why. That's why you went down. That's why we went down, man. For our wrongdoings against the Lord, and hid my face from them. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, meaning now will he deliver us, take us out of captivity, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel. And that proves, it says, bring again, because, it proves that it's talking about deliver, because how you going to have mercy but bring out captivity all over, see? So we're talking about delivering us out of captivity. Now the Lord going to bring us out of captivity. Tells you that in Joel 3. In the days that I'm going to deliver Judah and Jerusalem, I'm going to cause, World War III. It says, and will be jealous for my holy name. After that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land and none made them afraid. Verse 27 says, when I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands and have sanctified them in the sight of many nations.
Like you said, here it is. That's case in point where the Lord is proving, right, that he's proven his mindset, because it says after that they have borne their shame. That word born is to bear up, carry, take. Not the Lord say what? We shall be a proverb in the Bible. Right. So much so that it will be a sign upon us. Right? So after we dealt with that, guess what? The elect would see that sign, call upon the Lord, and like the scripture says in 2 Chronicles 7:14, then he will hear and heal their land.
Right. Verse 27, when I have brought them again from the people and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and that's one of the curses that were scattered. Now the Lord going to gather Jacob when Yahushua returns. Because they are sanctified in them in the sight of many nations. Then shall they know that I am Yahweh their God, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen. But I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them. For I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh. So in the end, Israel wins. Israel for the W, man. And that's all praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai.
Right. Remember, that also proves that we're going to get them new bodies. We're going to be in a new test. We're going to be in a new covenant. Because he just said he's going to pour out his spirit upon us.
Yep.
He's going to put his laws in our inward parts. Right.
Which we're not going to, but the new bodies we're gonna be able to do the thing the angel does, but as well as we're gonna have bodies like how we have now. See? But the flesh and the spirit gonna be at one. Ain't no more conflict between the two. And when 2/3 come back, they gonna remember the wicked stuff they done on their side. They gonna remember everything that they done, man. It tells you Ezekiel 36. See?
Yeah, man. So with that, just some going into Ezekiel 39. Well, I said a quick hit, but it didn't, it wasn't, but it's not, Lord willing, you Akim was edified.
That was a chicken bone with steroids right there, man.
Yeah, man.
Bunch of meat on that.
Yes, sir. But the Lord, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, brought this out. And, you knew, brothers. You take notes, right? You take notes. You do your research, and Lord willing, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai will open up your eyes as well. So with that, shalom to the elect.
Shalom.